Okay, so you join me today as I have a heart attack walking up Jellybrand Hill, hoping for some light. Because we've got lockdown restrictions again here in Melbourne, can't go any further than 10 kilometres from home for up to 2 hours of exercise. And my favourite place to go is about 15 kilometres away. Or my favourite nearest place is about 15 k's. So instead, I'm navigating the local Woodlands Park Reserve, which is very difficult to shoot in. You've already seen some of my shots from this area. Save for that lovely old tree, the grand old dame I call her. It's been very tricky getting shots here because, well, frankly, it's just kind of a mess, you know. And I'm all for isolating my subject and making it very clear what it is I'm photographing. And even though there are some awesome trees here, they're sitting in amongst scrubland, which is not terribly attractive. So I'm just walking around a part of the park that I haven't been to before, which is in an elevated position looking out over the airport, hoping there might be something here for me. Let's have a look. So there's Melbourne Airport way over there, which of course is very quiet right now because there is, wrong camera, because of course there is bugger all travel allowed. Normally there'd be planes taking off here every minute or two, but it's pretty silent right now. So I don't really know what I can photograph around here. I need a unique collection of boulders or an interesting tree, something like that, or a path sort of leading into an interesting distant subject, but I've got none of that. So I'm just gonna walk around and see what I can get. Yes, it's a bit ordinary. How do I go back to that? I'm experimenting with this Filmic Pro app on my phone, so pardon me if my big fat sausage fingers get in the way sometimes. That's just me trying to figure this crap out. All right, let's see if I can break my leg on the way down. Okay, no broken legs today, that's good. Okay, I'll soldier on. Wow. All right, so what I'm hoping to do here is I have spotted, am I lit? Yes, what I'm doing is I've spotted a lovely old dead tree over there, and we've got potentially an awesome sunset about to happen over there, which I'm hoping will light this old dead tree. So I better get ready very soon, and if that fails, then I'm going to point my 70-200. I didn't bring the 100-400, that's back in the car, but I'll point my 70-200 off to the mountains in the distance and see what I can get over there. All right, let's have a look. Okay, bringing out my favourite new toy called Stumpy, the RF 70-200 f4. Beautiful little thing, nice and small and very, very sharp, which really isn't that important, but it is kind of nice to look at sharp photos, even though as Hugh Brownstone at Three Blind Men and an Elephant reminded me today in his fantastic video about have we reached peak camera quality or technology, something like that. Bloody good video though. His videos are always good. Okay, so I was hoping for a sunset over there. It just vanished behind the clouds, so I think I've lost out on that. I was also hoping that the sun going down over there was going to strike my nice dead tree over here, but if it's behind clouds, that's not going to happen either. So instead, what I'm going to do is ring up a restaurant and book a dinner for 16 people in Brisbane. All right, let's do that. I really don't think I'm going to get much. I'm going to show you through this what I'm getting. All right, so this is what I'm seeing, which, you know, looks impressive in a way, but it doesn't really constitute an interesting photo alone. I really need a subject in the foreground. Just interesting clouds on their own really aren't enough. And I got some shots like this in the last couple of nights anyway, so I'm not real keen to do it again, although I do like that burst of light coming through, so I think I will just take a couple more shots just in case. Whenever you go out to shoot a sunset or a sunrise, I think I might have mentioned this in another video, maybe I haven't published that video yet, but it's always good to, I think if you can, is to try and find a possible subject that the sun will hit and a possible subject that the sun will backlight. Whether that is some interesting foreground and the sunset occurring behind it, or it is the sun setting behind you and striking something like, say, a lone dead tree on a hill, or a cluster of boulders, or, you know, an old ruined building of some sort, or something like that, you know. Or it could be a pathway leading off to something, a castle or a lighthouse, you know. So if you can position yourself in such a way that you give yourself a couple of options where you can shoot either to the sunset or use the light from the sunset to photograph a subject in the opposite direction, then it gives you a couple of options, and maybe you can get both, you know, while you're watching the progression of the sun either go up or go down. But I think I've lucked out again here. I had a lovely tree down there, which actually I'll show you with the R5 what I was hoping to get. So that's the tree I was hoping to get. I might still photograph it, but the trouble is the light is very ordinary, and I really wanted the setting sun to hit that tree and just maybe kiss the tops of the other trees, but I ain't going to get it. So let me just lock onto that. So that's the tree I was hoping to get, and I don't think it's going to happen. There's a lot of cloud cover on the horizon, again, like there was last night and the night before. I got a brief crack in the cloud there, but nothing photo worthy really, you know. So you just come out, show up, point your camera in the general direction, and pray. But I do love these clouds. I just wish I had a subject. It's very rare that clouds on their own are a good enough subject, unless they're really, you know, angry storm clouds. I've seen some amazing storm photography lately. I wish I could remember the guy's name. Man, his photos are just epic. So, you know, with his photography, the clouds are often good enough, you know, and also they're limited because he's essentially chasing storms. So he has to look around very quickly for a subject for his foreground, and often it's just a track or a road or a row of, you know, wire on a fence or something like that. You know, if he's lucky, he'll get a cluster of trees or something, but, you know, his cloud formations that he captures are just astonishing, and I reckon they're good enough to photograph without a foreground. Anyway, I'm going to stick around to the end, see what happens, and whatever happens, happens. That's the beauty of landscape photography is, you know, if you get out, providing you don't freeze your nuts off completely and, you know, slip down a boulder and break your bloody leg, just being out is reward enough. And, you know, capturing an image of what you saw and what you experienced is a real bonus, and it gives you the reason to go out in the first place. That's the whole point of it. Especially when you're not doing it commercially, you know, there's none of that anxiety of having to get the shot, having to always impress the hell out of a client. And You know, if you're like me and you don't give a crap about what happens on Instagram or any other social media channels, and you don't feel like you're competing with anyone, well then you can really enjoy yourself. You can genuinely enjoy your photography. I know that there's plenty of FOMO out there in the world, and I'm 53 years old and I can't be with any of it anymore. I used to be like that when I was young, dumb and full of hormones, but now I'm old, crusty and full of shit. Yeah. All right, that's enough philosophizing. I was going to take a photo of that tree, wasn't I? Even though it looks bloody ordinary now, it looks even worse than before. It's even more flat. Even though diffraction tends to creep in, I'm going to go to f22. Can't be bothered getting an ND filter out. Maybe I will later. Take a shot. This time I will, of course, use the self-timer. 2 seconds. Man, that wind. Oh, what did that shot look like? That might actually make an interesting shot. I tell you what, as it gets darker. See, this is the thing. You never quite know what you're going to get. It's like the other morning when I went out to Strath Creek and froze my nuts off. You know, I went there hoping to get a beautiful valley with fog in it and, you know, warm morning light coming through. And I got none of that. I got freezing cold rain, blustery wind, ice cold fingers, so cold they stopped working. I got no sunrise. The sun actually didn't appear above the clouds until about an hour and 15 minutes after the sun came up. So it was just complete rubbish in that regard. But I got I reckon some of my nicest, most interesting, moody photos that I've gotten in a long time. So I was rapt. And it's the same here. I've come here hoping to get a sunset. Bugger all. Light up my dead tree. Forget it. Clouds, nice, but no subject in the foreground. But that dead tree, with the other ones blowing around it, might just be my saviour. So I'm going to keep looking at this and see if I can get an interesting shot. And I reckon I just might. I'm going to have to break out the ND filter because I would really like a proper long exposure on this. Okay. You're a little bit fingerprinty. I'm busting for a piss too. But I don't want to miss an opportunity to take a photo. So, beautiful magnetic ND filter. Look at that, so easy. Just beautiful. This might be my shot. This might be my saving grace. Let's get another one. I'm going to get a few of these just to make sure I get one where everything is sharp. When I say everything, I mean my subject and everything else is blurry. What a gorgeous sunset. I must show you with my phone. You know, it just occurred to me the other day, well actually today, that the phone is a bloody good video camera. So I don't know why I don't use it more often when I'm out shooting. Because of its computational photography, it is brilliant at doing this kind of thing. So maybe you're going to see more of me pointing this thing around. It is bloody good. It's genuinely amazing. I mean, I'm shooting at 4K, 30 frames a second, and you know, if you're looking at the footage on a phone, I think it's quite fine. Wow, look at that gorgeous sunset. What a shame I had no subject. Ah well. I mean, I could have done this tree, but a silhouette like that's boring. I did those kind of shots when I was 15. I don't want to do those now. All right. Oh, turning off. All right, how we go with the last one? Oh, that's looking good. All right, and that's it. Let's piss off. Actually, before we piss off, I want to try this fella. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so if we got to do stuff late in the afternoon or early in the morning, then you might see my golden glow here under the light of my Aperture MC. Notice how that I made the light warm so that I look tanned, like a well-travelled adventurer, like a proper landscape photographer. All right, I think that's enough. Let's go back to where it's warm and cozy. I think I'm gonna need a head torch on the way back or else I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me again, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. That really, really helps for others to find these videos of mine. Plus it shows that, you know, I didn't do this for nothing. If you like it, then show it. That's what I do with all the videos that I watch. If I like them, I always, well, put it this way, if I don't like a video, then I just move on. But if it was okay, or I liked it, or it was awesome, I always give it a like. And more times than not, I'll make a comment as well, because it's just a nice, polite thing to do, to show people that this person put in some effort. He made something that is possibly useful to me. If nothing else, it helped me to waste 10 minutes while I was in the toilet. You know, so show a bit of appreciation. That's what I do. Anyway, so if you did like it, thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, it'd be nice to have you along. Until next week, thanks for watching. I'll see you then. I can't film anything for you right now because it's pretty well pitch black. But I just thought I'd let you know that I'm walking past an ancient cemetery right now. It's actually an old Aboriginal cemetery out here in the bush. It doesn't feel creepy at all. Oh well, if you're watching this video, it means I survived, so that's good.